money. And then there were 5, including today. There's 5 times left that you can listen. But I have a feeling that Corey, like our government, is going to pull something out of the hat on the last episode and convince Lauren and I to stick around somehow. I feel like he's going to get this Sunday money stimulus together. He's going to find the money.
Like some House of Cards stuff. Actually, the wife and I just started watching that show. Oh, that's an awesome show, by the way.
It will make you doubt everything that you've
No, I've already doubted.
learned.
I've already doubted. I just watched
Even
House of
more
Cards
so.
to just justify,
right.
to validate. Okay, yeah, politics are crock.
I know it gets a little difficult to follow towards the later seasons.
Yeah, we're only 2 seasons in. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
it's great.
Who knows, Daryl? I'm politicking. I'm always politicking. That's my second job. First job is
mediocre race car
driver. Second job, politicker.
That's great.
For all things
Lauren,
media.
If Corey can pull some money out of a hat, would you consider another go at this? A revamp?
With Corey or with both of you? Because if you're gone, then maybe I could do it. But
Lauren, when you say that, people think you're being for real, and they think that you don't like me.
I'm just
And
kidding. I'm kidding, everyone.
She's
I
kidding.
adore Daryl.
She's 60% kidding, 40% not kidding.
So true.
So hear me out. I think it should be us 3, Jim Utter, and Eric Estep. And Alex Weaver. We're gonna go ahead and just make it the Brady Bunch of NASCAR.
Absolutely not.
And we'll do it not only on Zoom calls. That way, everybody talking over each other.
Yep.
And nobody can get anything across. That sounds like a great show.
What a week for NASCAR. I just want to start by saying,
hey Daryl, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
You were very peppy this morning. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood. I missed you guys. I didn't get to talk last week.
We can get to talk. Daryl's back home in Charlotte, I guess Huntersville.
He's out of quarantine.
He's out of quarantine, but Daryl's boss or his buddy who's flipping these houses with is it a vacation or honeymoon or just a trip to St. John?
He is in St. John looking at properties because we are considering taking the house flipping to the islands.
Whoa. So, but you were before the show started, you were talking about you were possibly needing a job, and we were.
I need a job, guys.
And I wanted to shelf this conversation for the show. That way, all of our listeners can know what job candidates you have. Like, have you registered on Indeed or the Yellow Pages or?
I mean, Daryl does have some skills that people might not know about.
Do you have an updated resume I could pass out?
Well, I have my license. I'm a licensed hair cutter. Did you know that, Corey?
I did know that. I mean, it's evident. Look at your hair.
Andrew does need a haircut if you would be interested in.
So there you go.
You would have to get near people, but
there's a couple bucks.
Right. So I could revamp the hair career.
I mean, that's personally what I think you should do.
However, you have to wear a mask all day. I don't want this is not the right time to be doing that.
No,
all day long, I got to wear a mask and be next to people and.
You'll be fine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
No, thank you.
What else you got? Ideal time,
Yeah.
To do hair, and then I don't even know. Like, I walk past these salons right now. I don't know what's happening. There's no blow dries, but then I don't. Lauren, are you going into the salon?
No, I don't go in. I don't know if you've looked at me over the last 7 months, but I haven't done much to myself.
Oh, those roots! What's going on with those roots? Who's in charge of this color?
This is all natural, baby.
Yeah.
So Corey, I could do that. Okay. You know what I'm thinking about doing? I really like this place, this magical place, Costco. I feel like I would have fun working at a Costco.
You're just gonna throw some boxes
around? There's
way
more people at Costco than at a.
Yeah, but the ceilings are like 500 feet tall, and I can just like run around and put stuff up. And
okay.
Do you think you can operate a forklift?
Yeah, I can drive a forklift.
Oh, Andrew might be able to get you set up.
There you go. Andrew's going to sell you a forklift. You bring your forklift and hard hat with you and stock boxes at Costco.
Wow.
Let's see what other jobs are there.
You could be a greeter. You could be a greeter at Costco. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm Daryl.
Costco has really good benefits. They promote from within, and it pays good.
And they still sell that? Don't they sell that $1.50 hot dog and Coke deal for like the last 30 years?
Yeah.
Yes, and we go there anyway. Do you guys go to Costco? I love Costco.
No. There's only one over here in Concord, which is a little bit of a drive from us, so no Costco for me.
Is there one in Concord? We go to the one in Mooresville or South Charlotte, but that's just a maybe. And then Lauren, my other idea, is just an idea. I want to open a Christmas store that just sells Christmas decorations all year. What do you think?
Year?
People love Christmas.
That's a terrible idea.
That is a terrible idea.
That's one of the worst.
I'm going to say that you're going to have 3 weeks of business and 49 weeks of poverty. Sitting on a bunch of land gnomes.
I spilled coffee on this table, and it's expensive. I need to get a paper towel. You guys,
we're done talking to you. You're done. You can sign off now.
Yep, I hope you find that job.
Well, I need a job, guys. I need your help. Is anywhere hiring that you guys work?
Well,
probably not.
We could talk about that.
I can't have any competition.
Yeah.
But I want to be your assistant, Corey, or Lauren. I've got some assistants now. I'm good. But yeah, I might be able to put in a good word for you somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe whoever I drive for next year would hire you, Daryl. Could you be a mechanic or a crew chief maybe?
I could be a gas man.
Could you be? Yeah, you can be a gas man. Burly gentleman you are.
They love it.
Yeah, how much does that pay?
Pit crew pays pretty good.
But they just give those jobs to friends and family, right?
Well, it's usually a lot of the smaller teams lease the pit crews, like a development team from a bigger team. So
yeah,
you have to get in with a Hendrick or a
see.
Gibbs or a Toyota.
I think you'll find something.
You'll find something.
I'll find some kind of job, guys. Don't worry. It's been a year. I probably should go to work, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. There's no more stimulus checks coming, I don't think, for you. So we're gonna.
Uncle Donnie, where's your Uncle Donnie when I need him?
I don't know where Uncle Donnie's at.
Oh, Uncle Donnie's before I get my paper towel, what I wanted to say about NASCAR is I watched the race, Corey.
Yeah, we got the rest of the show to talk about this. Grab your paper towel, and then we'll circumvent and talk about the race.
Okay, just remember to ask me about Alex Bowman because I have a thought.
Oh no, we're definitely going to talk about that on the show.
Yeah, I'll got to get my paper towel. You guys pontificate.
Okay, pontificate. Probably one of the biggest headlines this week, Lauren, was Clint Boyer announcing he's not going to be a Cup driver next year. He's going to go to the booth, Fox's booth. Kind of expected.
It kind of expected, but kind of earlier than we expected. At least me.
It might have been a little bit earlier, and I also think there's always underlying motives, and everybody thinks that like when a team such as Stewart-Haas Racing, when Clint says something like that, they already have the decision on who's going in that car already made. It's not like they were surprised by that, right? Mm-hmm. There's always a plan B and C and D and
right. There's a pipeline.
There's a pipeline of stuff. With that being said, they already have their driver in-house for it.
Yeah.
People can think that Larson's going over there and Tony's going to get his guy. Ain't happening.
Nope.
I've been telling you where Larson's been going for the last 6 months, and I even said they're going to renumber that car. Did I not, Daryl?
You done said it.
I done said it for weeks now, and it's happening. We saw, another breaking news, which isn't really breaking. Alex Bowman to the 48.
Wow, shocker.
Shocker. Gosh. I mean, I almost think like I'm in the know.
Yeah.
Or I'm just like maybe a sidekick.
You have some inside sources.
But it wasn't really I had sources. That was what made the most logical sense.
Yeah.
When Larson is going to be driving a 25 or a 5 car with HendrickCars.com on it with Chevy goods and all this stuff, that's easier to pass through the hoops than
Yep. You don't need as
Ally
many sign-offs.
Financial. Right. So yeah,
well,
Clint's out.
I had heard
Chase
Alex
Briscoe's
actually,
in.
Well, I heard Alex wrote a letter to Mr. Hendrick, and apparently Mr. Hendrick went to lunch. He was like, "I'm going to lunch, guys. Do good work." And Alex snuck into his office and put a letter on his desk. I don't know what the letter said, but apparently said the right things.
I think he had better handwriting than I did. That's what I heard, anyways.
Poor Corey. Corey tried so hard, Lauren. He really wanted that.
Well, I loved it.
At the end of the day, realistically, I haven't done enough on the racetrack to show that I'm capable of getting in a Hendrick car. You don't just go from where I'm at now to that. Mm-hmm. You look at Matt DiBenedetto, who, congratulations, he got the break of a lifetime. When he left the 32 car, he got a break of a lifetime with the 95 hiring him with, when Casey Kane and there was about 4 or 5 other guys in line that didn't take that ride. He got in it, had a good run in Bristol, gets in the 21 car when Paul Menard retires, and has a couple good runs as of late, and the fans rallied and ultimately forced Woods Brothers to change their mind because their mind was fairly made up. Austin Cindric was going in it. So they changed their mind, gave Matt a year, and also announced Austin Cindric will be in that car in 22. So ultimately means all year next year, Matt has a ride. He's also a free agent at the same time. So that almost worked out pretty good for him. That way everybody knows he's available.
Right.
So congrats to Matt DiBenedetto. On another year.
Congrats to Alex Bowman on the 48.
Congrats to Alex Bowman. That's a big deal. I mean, the guy went
Everybody's winning but Corey. Corey, have you considered crying on TV to maybe get some sympathy
I have.
to get a ride?
Apparently it works. You know,
you don't know how hard this is. I try every week, and it's a lot.
I don't know. I mean, I've cried once. The only time I really remember crying was when I made the Daytona 500 through the duels for BK, my first time there. I cried because that was probably the only race that was on the schedule at that point in time. So yeah, it was a big deal.
I reached out to Matt. I told Matt congratulations. I've known Matt a long time, so lest any of you out there in the Twitter sphere think we're really making fun of Matt, we like Matt. Nice guy, good guy.
No, yeah, I mean he's grinding, no different than anybody else, right? So, and he's run good. He's earned his way. I mean, I don't think that 21 car's running the best it's run in a long time. So,
we should circle back to Clint.
Circle back to Clint.
Good call, Lauren.
I'm not sad to never have to deal with Clint Boyer at a media day ever again.
Do you think Clint's deal fell apart, right? That's what happened.
I'm not going to assume. I'm not going to assume, but there's always an underlying motive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was just him writing that press release and firing it off.
Right.
And when you have a guy in your feeder series winning every other race.
No kidding.
And he's going to do it for a hell of a lot cheaper than what the other guy's going to do it for. It's not a bad business decision. Now, that might not be the case. I don't know, but usually there's more to the story than what's usually published, right? So I definitely foresee Chase Briscoe going in that thing. Why wouldn't they put him in there? He's definitely deserved his shot.
These guys, there's a lot of these young guys I feel like that get pushed up because they're doing really great in Xfinity.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do they do after that?
Cup Series is hard. Newsflash, there's about 34 guys in the Cup Series that can drive their car as fast as possible. There's looks like to be about 7 guys in the Xfinity Series anymore that know what they're doing. So, yeah, it's not a surprise that guys like Chris Bell, those guys struggle.
Breaking announcement that we forgot about this week was that Zane Smith
going back to the Truck Series.
Wow, that's great. I mean, that's what I had been waiting for so long, is to hear what he was doing.
Honestly, I know that our listeners probably don't really know a whole lot about the Xfinity or truck guys, but my opinion, Zane is one of the best drivers, probably under 24 or 5 in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying that for years now. And I for whatever reason, I kind of saw him going over to Colleague in that 10 once Chastain left. I don't know how much money drove that topic or not, but Zane will be back in the truck. He will obviously be another championship contender like he is this year. I don't know. I think that he's been over at JR Motorsports. He didn't have a great stint, had a couple decent races, but that's also goes to show if you jump in a car that you might not be experienced enough to really perform, that just goes to show like you lose your traction and steam really quick.
Yeah.
He jumped in that opportunity no different than what Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman was in that 88 car, which is now the 8 car at JRM, and ran well enough to fill in for Dale Jr., where Zane was in relatively the same spot, and they didn't think that he could get the job done, moved back down to trucks. He's got some investor money behind him and stuff like that to make it happen. And now he's just almost starting to rebuild that reputation.
Right.
His talent level hasn't changed. His experience is getting more. But now it's like, okay, yeah, Zane Smith's experience, he's winning truck races, when he might have made that step up to JR Motorsport, or that step up to something really good in the Xfinity Series a little bit too soon. So it's also, there's that element of you're trying to time your shot as much as it is. You're trying to time your shot. That way your experience and talent, all that stuff kind of blends at the same time and not too early. So, we'll see this kid Sam Mayer, who won a truck race a couple weeks ago at Bristol. He won the K&N ARCA Series championship last week. He seems to be a really good driver. He's super young. He's in the last half of that 8-car at JRM next year. That's a big jump. So, that'll be another example of watching somebody that has a lot of media pushing behind them, a lot of talent, and a lot of money too to make it happen. See if it works
See
out
if it
for
works.
him. Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah. I would imagine
Sorry,
Chase
I just
Briscoe
fell asleep for a second.
with your eyes on, with your eyes open. So Chase Briscoe will be in the 14.
What are you talking about, Corey? At the end of the day, there's 7 drivers that keep winning every single Cup race. We need to change something. Something's got to happen. Is the new car going to be the something that happens?
Well, Brad had a good tweet about this week about there's only what was there? He said a number. I don't know exactly what it was. Just call it 8 drivers that have won more than 5 races, active drivers in the Cup Series. That's a combination of the guys that have been in championship winning cars with championship winning teams starting to retire, right? Jimmy, Jeff, Dale Earnhardt Jr., all these guys. And then the young guys coming in are learning from the veterans of their particular team. You've got there's only realistically 4 teams that have a legitimate shot of winning any week anyways. If you take the anomaly of Kurt Busch out, it's been Stewart, Haas, Penske, Gibbs, and Hendrick. Majority, that's about it. And it just, I think that, I don't want to keep beating the drum, but Kyle Busch hasn't won a race all year long. Now, Kyle Busch hasn't forgotten how to drive, right? It's just they've missed it on a little bit. He obviously needs some practice to get his car exactly to his liking any particular weekend. And if you're a little bit off, you're not going to compete for Cup races. So, and then that goes to even show if you don't drive for one of the 3 or 4 teams that have their stuff together, then you don't have a chance to win. So the new car, in theory, is supposed to make, the JTGs of the world, the RPMs of the world more competitive. At the end of the day, the cream rises to the top, the people with the smartest engineers, the best drivers, the guys who get a couple more counts of downforce and horsepower here and there are always going to go faster than the guys that don't. So, realistically speaking, you would like to think that the new car is going to be this big change. I don't foresee it. Maybe the first year, because it's going to be such a cluster with guys trying to figure out how to make a completely new car go around the racetrack. You might see some anomalies, but it's still motorsports. I think the teams with the fastest drivers and smartest engineers are going to make it go fast in a circle. So I hope so, but I don't know.
See, that's why the draft for football is so interesting. And I'm not a big football guy, but like the idea that we could come together in January and go, all right, we're going to spend some money on an engineer from Gibbs, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that crew chief that was over, and they put together these teams based on where they want to spend their money, and everybody kind of ends up with a hodgepodge deal. That's kind of fun. That would be kind of interesting, but that's a fantasy. I get it.
It is. Yeah, it is, and it's a good idea. But that's not good business in terms of race teams, right? If you hit on a smart engineer out of college, then you try to lock him up and pay him for what he's worth, and don't overpay him, and try not to make sure anybody else steals them, right? Or even if you get a good driver that you might hit on something, right? You try to keep him in your fold. You don't want him going to another team and taking all the stuff he's learned and all that somewhere else, or even partners he brings. So I would love to see that little bit of mix up, but if you look at Hendrick, for example, they've been a race team for 30 years. The car that they're putting on the racetrack, Gibbs, no different, is everything that they've learned from the time they started building race cars until right now. It's been the same exact car, same exact suspension, some different body builds, but generally speaking, it's all been an advantage, and just a slowly, like if they learn one thing to get some side force, they'll put it in the car. So and anything that Gibbs puts on the racetrack, or Penske or Hendrick, is just a combination of everything the smartest people have ever worked on a car's going in a circle has thought of.
Right.
So that's why those cars are so much better than the cars that are hand-me-downs or teams that don't necessarily have that information. So I think that a new car to that point would probably re-rack it of sorts, because they don't have 30 years of notes to look back on and say, hey, this is what we got to do. Put a little more premium back in your people and driver, hopefully.
Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina is redefining the drive-thru coffee game in Race City, USA. The Clutch experience is fast, friendly, and delicious. Clutch Coffee Bar offers signature lattes and mochas, custom-flavored infused energy drinks, smoothies, and more. You can also order our signature Clutch coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com or visit our 2 locations in Mooresville, 356 Williamson Road and 154 West Plaza Drive. Power up today with Clutch Coffee Bar.
So who do we have left to figure out who's going where?
So, well, there's a lot of charter stuff going on that's not being really talked about, nor I'm going to talk about on the show. But
Damn it.
there's some teams being sold, charters moving around. Some teams that you wouldn't expect to not have a charter don't have a charter.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams have sold their charter and still operating as such as if they do. So it's definitely going to look a little bit different next year. And there's some new teams coming that haven't been announced yet.
That haven't been announced?
Yep.
Completely new teams?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
So there's still a lot of that.
Oh.
There's still a lot of that. Do you have an idea?
Well, no, I saw that. I guess Colleague is gonna.
They'll probably run some select road course races. And when you have, that was another topic we were going to talk about, was
right.
AJ Allmendinger. If you have that guy in the stable and you don't run him in a road course, no matter what car it is, where we go, then you're a fool. Because that guy is a road course racing sucker. But
if you get good at road courses, Corey, you could potentially win one of how many races next year?
6 next year. I mean, I'm looking, as much as I hate to do it, I'm looking at buying an iRacing simulator again.
This guy just wasting money. He buys one, sells
it's not really
it,
wasting.
buys it again.
You know, I being that I have driven 5 road course races in my life, I probably need to spend a little bit of money, maybe even go to a school,
right.
Sit there and learn via a Zoom call.
You're going to be a GoPro all winter.
Oh,
no, I'm good at go-karts at GoPro. Like, I'm actually, when you go out there with Will Byron.
Is that comparable? Because I saw where somebody said that Ty Dillon was out at GoPro Motorplex. Like, he was out there last night. Nobody knows how much work he puts in. And I'm like, I don't feel like that's the same thing.
It's not comparable. Braking, acceleration, the way you have to get the car pointed, it's not even remotely close.
Right.
All a go-kart is fun, and you're out there getting beat up and you're hitting your ribs and stuff like that. Like, that's...
And losing to Zane Smith. Go ahead, be honest.
Wow.
I didn't know.
Yes, he did. Zane Smith
cheated, Daryl.
He definitely cut 3 corners off, but that's not even... We talked about that like a year ago, so that's nothing for
last time I saw him, he's like, how's Corey? Does he remember when I smoked him? And I was like, yep.
Well, we could pull a tape if you want.
Okay, so Corey needs a job.
Yep.
Ty Dillon needs a job.
Ty Dillon needs a job, so I foresee Ty Dillon going to the 43. I think Pop Popple.
Right.
I mean, it just makes sense that Pop Popple slotted me either an engine deal or some equipment support. It just makes sense, you know.
Did you see Brett Moffitt's tweet?
No.
So in regards to what you're talking about with Ty Dillon, that Brad Keselowski tweet said he's more interested in seeing if the driver landscape changes. I said there's way too many teenagers in Cup at the moment. And Brett said too many teenagers or too many drivers whose dads are also their sponsors.
But
everybody was all like, go Brett, go Brett.
There's really not very many guys that are like that. Now, the back 6 or 7 guys that are riding around, you know, in whatever 50 numbered car there is out there, like those guys, yeah. But when you look at the top 30 guys, none of those guys are really, I mean.
Is that more Xfinity right now?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, that's part of the trouble that I'm in right now. It's like, you know, there's the teams team I'm talking to, that they're like pressing me on it, like the time schedule. I'm like, dude, this isn't like I just go to Dad and say, hey, Dad, give me a check for $2 million I could go ride around on Saturdays. This is actually like asking somebody to move some marketing budget around and go to meetings and line up this person and that person and show actual plans to take millions of dollars from a company and give it back as a return. It's not so much as I can go to the well, pull up a check from Dad, and then cut it. They're not used to that. They're not used to legitimate partners
If you were looking to make a good social media clip, though, you should do one of those hidden cameras and go up to Randy and say, "Hey, Dad, I need $2 million for next year," and then we just get to watch the reaction.
He'd be, Yeah, luckily, my dad. I haven't asked him for money to race since I've been probably 17 or 18. I mean, luckily, he spent a lot to get me to that point, but after that, it was kind of like figure it out on your own because this is about as far as I can take you. So,
all right. So who else do we have, Lauren? Who's on your list? You were taking notes.
That was all I could think of.
Yeah. So the 37's up in the air.
And Kyle Larson,
that's right? Eric Jones.
Eric Jones, I hear, is going in there, but then you also hear Ryan Preece is in it. I've heard possibly that, but they both may or may not be under contract. So stay tuned to see what happens there.
Well, and then Roush tweeted some cryptic picture yesterday of the 6, and then said that they had an announcement. I don't know when that came out. I don't know if that was a new car or if that was a paint scheme thing.
Probably just a sponsor. Newman's signed back up there next year.
He is.
He'll get him one more year in the old Oscar Mayer mobile and then sail off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm. Who else is peacing out after next year, after 2021?
Everybody.
I would say that Kurt's probably on the. It would be up to him if he wants to do the new car or not. As much as he's been doing the FS1 truck races and Xfinity races.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I like Kurt Busch in the booth.
I disagree with you.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough for me to listen to. I like Kurt. I don't particularly love his announcing style. His driving style is impeccable. His announcing skills are not up to snuff with his driving skills, I don't think. So that's just my opinion. Lauren likes him. I do not. What do you think about it?
He sounds friendly. That's mostly what I'm talking about. I don't know anything about what he thinks.
I don't know. I'm all in NBC mode at the moment. Kurt in the booth, yeah, I guess I'm sure he does good. I don't remember not liking him, I think Clint is going to be a lot more challenging than they are thinking.
I think you're right.
I think a little bit of Clint goes a long way, and I like Clint, but listen, it's a long race, 3.5 hours of Clint. And when we saw what happened when they tried to do the virtual stuff, you got to sprinkle Clint in. So hopefully they use him sparingly, not for 4 hours straight.
Well, I mean, I really do think that he is a great addition to the Fox booth. He's almost taken DW's place. Remember, DW was the happy-go-lucky, the goon in the booth, which people ate it up. Right. So now
people do. They love the Clint Boyer shtick.
Here comes Clint Boyer shtick.
I love the Clint Boyer shtick, but I'm just saying.
Me too.
He's not easy to maneuver. True, Lauren?
No, he does not. He doesn't follow directions well.
Well, hey, that's what people might like to see on the Fox broadcast.
And on the NBC side, I watched that whole race, Lauren, and I got a confession. Rutledge Wood is my favorite NBC talent at the moment. I think the other guys are rusty, man. I don't know what's going on. It's like they haven't been. I don't know. Everybody's energy's not matching or something. Junior's okay. He does a good job, but he's newer at it. But the other guy is that Rick, right?
Rick Allen.
He's so excited about every single thing he says, and that gets old in 2 seconds. He's just like, I can't believe it. They're coming around the turn again. Yeah, they just did that 2 seconds ago, dude. What do you? It's the same thing happened.
Maybe that's just the pitch of his voice. Maybe he's just.
Oh my God! It's so over the top. Guy. I don't know. It's just it's a little.
Things are weird. They're not actually at the races, Daryl. Or I guess this past weekend was the
first one. Now they're going to be calling the rest of the races at live, which I think will
That'll
certainly
help
make
them
a
maybe
difference.
Get back into the groove.
Right. You got to give them a little bit
Jeff
of rope.
Burton. I mean, listen. Whatever. All I'm saying, Lauren, is that all broadcasters that call races should have to listen to 100 hours of MRN races before they are allowed to sign a contract, because MRN does the best job of painting a picture.
Well,
and that's
hang
what
on,
you need.
hang on, Daryl. I agree with that, because when we were watching my dad's races back in the day, we would legitimately turn on MRN. We'd turn on the radio and mute the TV.
Yeah.
Because they kind of say what's going on in the back of the pack. They kind of talk about what's going on all over. But I don't think you need a MRN style call on the TV because you're physically watching it, right?
Yeah, if you think Rick Allen's too excited calling the
races,
then...
listen to Kyle Rickey or Dave Moody.
Just lose his mind. It's excellent.
You would think that somebody riding around with nobody 8 car lengths in front of him. Behind him is 3 wide racing for the lead, half flipped over. If you listen to Nate Moody, that's his job, and he's damn good at it. You know.
Maybe I was in a mood. I'm just telling you, that's what struck me at the Roval. This particular time was like every time a car slid, Rick Allen acted like it was the first time he had saw it, and I was like, okay.
Well, that was something to get excited about, those races.
You know what else was exciting?
Happened 25 times, Lauren. I mean, like every other turn, these drivers have no idea what they're doing in the rain, and they're just like flying all over the place. And he's like, I can't believe it.
Well, the conditions, NASCAR admittedly says that was not suit for racing. There was standing puddles that were inches deep, right? And you when you're driving your 4Runner around town, Daryl, when you're going 35 miles an hour and you hit a 2-inch puddle, that thing's kind of get a little loose with you. Imagine hitting it at 100 miles an hour with a car that's not made for it. It doesn't make for ideal racing conditions. With the lack of daylight, they run out of daylight. There's no infield lights. All the guys in the race said that they were really just going pace car speed at that point in time because it was raining so hard you couldn't see where you're going, and the glare from the big screen was literally blinding them in that 3 and 4 corner. So,
Lauren, could you imagine having Corey as a child? I mean, like every time he comes home, I got a C in math, but you don't understand. I have to sit where I can't see the teacher, and my pencils weren't sharpened, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I missed 3 questions. And,
no, if I got a C, I couldn't race, so it was straight A's for me. I had that, so I couldn't make any excuses. But I'm not. Excuses. I didn't race in the Xfinity Series, so I'm making excuses for those guys.
I'm saying the Cup guys are spinning all over the place too, though.
They weren't nearly as bad as
we were racing in the dry. We started on wet tires, which was my first time on wet tires. They actually had more grip than I expected them to. We also didn't have standing water on the racetrack, so that conditions were better. Then there was that time in the race where some guys put on wet, some guys put on dries, and that's why you saw Ty Dillon win this first stage, because he was the one guy that put on the dries or slicks, I guess you could say. And then the track dried off at perfect timing for him. So,
dude, you were doing great, Corey. You were actually having a good run until you ran into Matt Kenseth. I was like, look at Corey. Corey's running good today.
Yeah, I think we were 21st or so. So, I mean, I was happy with I keep getting better at it. I keep figuring out how to get a little bit deeper in the braking zone and how to, pitch the car the right way.
Dude, 5 more years, and you're going to be racking up top 10s for sure.
Not even 5 years. Give me next year, halfway through, I'll be figuring it out. I'll be a freaking
that is a
Ayrton Senna.
Bold statement.
I'm putting the work in. I even said it on Twitter. I set the bar. You know,
he's going
if it's
back
on
to
Twitter,
the basement, Lauren. Back
I'm
to
going.
The lab.
I got to go back to the basement.
It's gospel.
I'm looking at TA2 cars to drive, get some laps around COTA or Road America, places I haven't seen yet. Because
I thought about that because Haley Deegan was in a simulator this week, and I was going to call you, Corey.
Yeah, I don't get access to that.
Why is Haley Deegan getting more simulator time than some of our Cup drivers?
Well, I don't think you need to ask that question. I think that's
yes, I do.
obvious.
I want to know. Lauren wants to know, why is Haley Deegan getting more simulator practice time than the Cup guys?
Somebody's paying that bill.
The same reason why she gets 2 GT350s and a Ford Raptor and a Expedition showed up at her house in Temecula. No different, right? So, and meanwhile, I'm driving a 2.
Salty.
I'm not salty. I'm just saying that's how. That's everybody negotiates their own deal, right? And she's got a pretty sweet deal. She brings a lot of fans. Who's selling more Ford Mustangs, Haley Deegan or me? I can promise you, Haley Deegan's selling way more Mustangs than I am.
Corey, you're a good-looking guy. I saw you. You had your little Stars Born country singer hat on last night on your date. You should call Haley's dad and be like, "Will you manage me? Because you're doing something right. I need you to manage my career. I will sign on as an artist."
No.
Maybe we need to put Corey up on the hood of the car, a la Danica Patrick, to really sell some stuff
and just hang out my goods.
I don't know how to flex.
And just Photoshop some sweet muscles.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do.
Yeah, I mean, what else can we do at this point, Lauren? We've tried everything to make him marketable.
I know.
Well, I'll tell you
what happens. Cole Custer gets the big TV commercial.
I know.
Corey, what the hell?
That shit was funny though.
That was good. Corey couldn't have done it.
So it was. So the deal with he's talking about the Old Spice deal, right? Which they were on my car a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You had your moment.
I had it. I couldn't get the job done, I guess. But it was a different marketing company because Old Spice contracts a couple different marketing agencies. Old Spice, the company that was doing the dry shampoo that we did with the face car and the hair down it, is a different. It's a different pot than the one that's doing it with Cole Custer. So it was cool to see. That was a funny commercial. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on his Instagram.
Is that going to be on
That was so
TV?
good. I like that Cole Custer, I feel like, embraces his
nerdiness. Awkward. I saw him last night at dinner. It was great. I gave him some crap for it, but
so good.
Hey, Cole Custer's one of the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's just doing his deal, hanging out. He got him an Old Spice deal.
So now Stuart Haas has gone. Stuart Haas has gone from a couple years ago having Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick,
Tony Stewart,
and then I guess Clint was there maybe.
Danica.
Yeah, and now they have Cole Custer,
Chase Briscoe, Erica Marola, and Kevin Harvick.
What a transformation!
Now, Lauren, you're a media expert. True or false?
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you remember this movie Talladega Nights?
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
Okay, stay with me. Stay with this train of thought. If you don't chew Big Red, then you.
Right.
All right, he pulls out the knife. You remember that whole scene where they're just making all these funny commercials?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
now, Cole Custer comes out and does a hilarious commercial.
So good.
It goes viral. Super easy. Took the whole thing is 20 seconds long.
Right.
Granted, Schluter systems might be a little bit of a tougher sell, but don't we think every driver could be making 20-second funny spoofs of their sponsors?
Yeah, if we had more drivers, and I feel like Corey is willing to wear the chicken suit.
The chicken suit.
He's worn the chicken suit. I think if we had more drivers willing to do that, then we would have more viral moments in NASCAR.
But on the contrary, if everybody is putting out a 20-second video trying to make it go viral, then none of which will go viral.
That's
right?
true.
So
That's
it's like,
true.
do we dilute it, or do we take the good for what it's worth, and don't try to recreate it?
I feel like we've gone through a lot of topics, and
we are off the rails here.
We have nothing left to talk about.
We got to take a break.
We got like 6 more topics. We'll take a commercial. And we'll come back.
Okay.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
And we're back. Sunday Money. Gosh, when I think about the fact that there's only 5 left, including this one, 4 more episodes, it makes me sad, Lauren. I'm going to miss talking to you guys on Tuesday mornings. And it seems like the internet agrees with us. Oh, Wednesdays, yeah. We used to do Tuesday. We used to do Mondays. People online want us to keep going. We'll tackle that when we see what Corey's going to do. Him and I might be at Costco together next year. Right. Corey, we could work at Costco together, and you could go do your TV stuff.
I relate it to this. It's like, would you like to have your Christmas entire relatives around a table? Would you like to have those conversations every week? I don't. That gets old, and that's what we've got here. We've got our Christmas round table every week.
We've been getting along better since I switched my medication.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
You had to up the dosage.
I was suffering from anxiety like my friend Alex Bowman. By the way, this just went crazy. We'll get to Alex Bowman in a minute, but I know you wanted to touch on AJ Allmendinger before we forget, because he put on a show.
Well, yeah, and every time I watch an Xfinity race that AJ's in, he won at Atlanta earlier in the year. He's obviously one of the best road course racers in any sport or any league we have right now. I just look at him and I'm like, why is this guy not in the Cup Series? It makes no sense to me why he's not in the Cup Series. AJ Allmendinger is still a top 20 talent overall in the Cup Series, especially with six races, 5 of which are in the regular season. So there's 5 chances that somebody can put him in to qualify for the chase. Mm-hmm. I don't get it, man. I don't see why he's not in a ride.
Well, he has been.
He has been. He's a Penske. He was at JTG, and him at JTG was the best that team has ever been, and they've digressed since then. Since the year of AJ Allmendinger and Chris Buescher was the best they've had competitively, and they got rid of them both, and now they don't run particularly great. So I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me on why he's not in the Cup car. Now he might only want to race once 2 times a month, you know, and I think
he goes off and does his TV stuff. He does some IMSA racing occasionally.
Yeah, so I mean, he might be having fun. He made some good money in his day. So maybe he doesn't have to work. Maybe he doesn't want to take a cup ride that's not competitive. I don't know, but if I was a cup owner, I would certainly be looking at him to be at least in a part-time.
And you want to talk about a media darling? That is AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah. I mean, he's excited. He shows emotion, and you know, like that's what we like.
Silly videos.
He does it all. He's a cat guy. He's
a great guy.
He's got Mr. Pickles or whatever his cat's. Yep. He's got another one.
It's a good name for a cat.
Yep.
So
nothing makes me happier, by the way, than the wives and girlfriends, their tweets. That's my new favorite part of Twitter. Is like, you know, when the wives are like, "Congratulations, you're the man." Like, it's one win. Calm down. You know, it's exciting, but it's one. You know, it's not the man. The man would be like, "That's the 6th time this year." But they get so excited. They're so supportive. I love it.
Is showing.
Yep.
No,
Daryl Down. Your Daryl Downer seeping out. Your Daryl Downer seeping out.
But Lauren, you have to admit it's pretty funny when they get riled up.
Listen,
the wags.
Those wags.
You know, they're all friendly with each other. And
I love it.
From one great road course racer to another, apparently great road course racer, Chase Clyde Elliott.
I mean, how did Chase Elliott from Dawsonville, Georgia? It must be hereditary, right? Because I guess it wasn't his dad.
Bill was pretty good at road courses as well. Now, I think there are some factors. I mean, he has all the access in the world to the simulation and the tools, and he can take a car pretty much any time he wants to. There's also a road course in his backyard. From what I understand, there's Atlanta Motorsports Park. It's some SCCA track. So.
And does he just go over there
maybe? I don't know what Chase's daily life is, but I would if there's a road course in my backyard, I would be on it to have some fun, to learn. And he's developed into probably the best road course racer we have. Martin Truex is a pretty good road course racer, but Chase has won the last Elliott. 4 in a row. Alan Gustafson has a pretty solid setup underneath that 9 Napa Chevy, and it shows. I mean, he's hauling ass every road course. Mm-hmm. He might win every road course next year, Daryl. Who knows? I
know. I was thinking about that watching, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting because he literally could become the darling that he already is, but the darling if he wins all the road courses next year.
Yeah, and he is not just a little bit faster than everybody. He's like more than half a second faster than the next car. He was a second faster than the field at Daytona. He was almost a second faster than the field at Charlotte. It's pretty impressive what Chase has been doing on a road course. So we might as well just go ahead and give the Clutch Performer of the Week.
We're gonna
do a duo this week. We're gonna do the Clutch Performers, plural, of the week. There's AJ Allmendinger and Chase Elliott.
Wow.
Go ahead.
For their feats this weekend, AJ winning in a monsoon and Chase going from the back to the front a couple times and not driving it head on into the heartburn turn and getting a Roval victory.
The heartburn turn.
The Clutch Performers of the Week, brought to you by Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina. You can order Clutch Coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. Go to clutchcoffeebar.com. Congratulations, AJ and Chase.
Wow.
I like that Corey brought his Clutch Coffee, Lauren. He's doing it.
He is
I'm a company
dedicated.
Man. But you know what? I was a little bit torn this past weekend. On our car was One Nation Coffee, which is a veteran-owned and first responder-owned coffee company. So $1 of every bag of coffee sold goes to the When Life Sucks charity.
I do like that.
So I like that too. So I was a little bit torn. You know, is it Clutch
Maybe they could do
is it One
collab.
Nation Coffee? But hey, if you want to support veterans,
there's enough coffee to go around.
There's enough coffee to go around.
We can support all of them.
Can't be snotty about coffee unless it's don't drink Folgers. Don't drink anything else.
Ugh, no.
Yeah, it's either Clutch or One Nation this week. Next week, just Clutch. But this week, One Nation.
Okay. Wow.
And there you have it. Back to Anxiety Alec. Hashtag. That got a lot of pub this week.
It did.
Fill our listeners in on what happened. They might not have seen it, Daryl.
No, Lauren knows.
No, Daryl, you know.
I didn't really look at it. I didn't really know the backstory. I know the context of it, and I don't feel like the hate towards Utter was earned.
Alex Bowman was very, very nervous because it's a lot on the line for this race and the points and the cutoff and everything. And he was racing in the rain and he's just racing on this road course. And he just kept saying to people like, oh, I'm really nervous. And apparently on the radio at one point, he said,
I feel like I'm going to throw up.
I didn't hear the radio. I don't even know that they put the call out, but he was freaking out on the radio apparently.
He says, I feel like I'm going to throw up in the car, but that's just my anxiety talking.
Yeah,
that's my anxiety me or something like that. Yeah,
Alex talking. And so Jim Utter thought it was a funny quip and started using the hashtag anxiety Alex. And, you know, Jim does this thing where he just live tweets every position and every turn and every, you know, so he would be like anxiety Alex, P3. And people online not into it. I mean,
they thought he was making fun of
anxiety,
mental illness, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Which I think in the context of it, I don't think that it was meant as a jab. I think that it was just a continuation of what Alex was even saying. But, you know, Alex had a big week. He announced he was driving Jimmy Johnson's car. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm sure that came with a healthy pay raise. And he was trying to get that 88 car into the next round of the chase. So he had a lot of, which some people would probably call stress. I probably wouldn't call it so much stress because you know what you're doing for the foreseeable future and your job's secure and all that sort of stuff. And I think that if you continue to reiterate that you're nervous about something, hey, guess what? You're going to be more nervous about it. Like I don't know why we just, I don't know. I don't even want to get into this. I don't want the cancel culture to come after me.
The general Twitter public, I'm not sure they knew the backstory of what Alex had been saying on the radio necessarily.
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of reasons to dislike him. He tweets constantly things that could make you not like him.
I mean, he's almost as negative as Daryl is sometimes.
Oh boy, they are. It's a close battle there.
Yeah.
But
him, you, Utter, and Bromberg are in a head-to-head race to see who is the most negative about the sport.
Excuse me, I don't tweet negative stuff ever.
Never?
Ever?
No, I don't tweet negative. I only talk negative on here.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You know.
It's fine.
And so anyways, people got very upset. All sorts of people in the industry were like, what the heck?
I have anxiety.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone has anxiety to
Everybody has anxiety about how kind of you.
But apparently it got, you know, to the point where everyone was calling for Jim Utter's job.
Right.
And it was interesting because so many people were like, NASCAR, get rid of this guy. NASCAR doesn't have that kind of power, though, Lauren. They don't just get to fire reporters, do they?
No, that's not how it works.
Right.
And so, long story short, Jim ended up deleting the tweet, and he did apologize to Alex apparently
via an iPhone note, as in all the great things are announced.
Yep.
I'm going to read his iPhone note so I can be fair. You ready?
Yep.
Here was his apology. Yesterday, during the race, I tweeted a hashtag about Alex Bowman. I responded to what I thought was humorous banter about anxiety between himself and his crew chief on the radio. I'd like to apologize to anyone that believed I was making light of mental health issues, which couldn't be further from the truth. Alex and I had a great conversation this afternoon in which I reiterated that to him. Well, okay. This won't be the first time Jim Utter's put his foot in his mouth. Right. We will see it again.
Right. But this is just a touchy topic with everybody else who may be struggling with anxiety or depression, right? Yep. So it's like that's when the sore spot. It's one thing saying something negative about somebody's driving ability or whatever, but when you touch on a topic that many people deal with lightly, that's when people get aggravated, I guess. But
right,
you know,
but
I think
there's nothing wrong with having anxiety. That's, I think, what we should get across. Many of people deal with it. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt bad for him. I just was hoping that it doesn't become like how Bubba and the depression. Like, I'm like, I really hope people don't just start asking Alex about this every time he does an interview, because like that's the last thing probably somebody wants that is dealing with anxiety or depression.
Well, there was
to talk about it every day.
Just the unknowns of this particular weekend. There's been a lot of guys that never been on wet tires before, or even in the rain. I mean, Alex might have been one. I don't know. I would imagine probably because you don't have a lot of experience on Xfinity like I do. But like I was nervous because I didn't know what to expect, and I could imagine he was even more so because he had a lot more to lose than I did, right? If I auger my stuff off into the barriers, I'm still 29th in points. If he augers
what was
stuff,
that word? Augured?
Augers it in.
What's augers?
It's a figure of speech, like when you just you auger something in, like a post into the ground.
Never heard it.
Lauren augers that pallet into the back of the
her
truck.
Yeah, I mean you can lawn dart it, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, continue.
Piles it in, whatever figure of speech you want to use.
Sure.
I need a translator.
If I back my car into the wall, Daryl, is that better for you to understand?
Yeah.
If I wreck it,
I like the
crash
country talk. Keep going.
I have nothing to lose. But if Alex does it, then his season essentially is over with in terms of competing for a championship. So I know Joey was really nervous about it as well. He ended up finishing second. So it's just the unknowns of this particular week had just nerves tight, just because the Roval itself, we all know, treacherous. Alex wrecked the car the last minute of practice last year at the Roval, so he was obviously thinking about that. So there's lots of variables that he was thinking about, had on his plate. So, he was talking about it lightly and, talking about it, trying to deal with it his own particular way he seemed fit. And I think that Utter didn't mean anything particularly by it and realized that other people didn't take it as he did. So that's the problem. That's the problem with Twitter. It's easy to take things out of context. It's easy to assume a certain thing.
What's your final vote on the rain and the tires? Is this something we should continue to explore, or is
Absolutely.
This a no-go?
I think the road courses that are on the schedule next year, being Road America and the Indy Road Course and places like that, are all conducive. If it does get wet, there's not going to be a lot of puddles. That they're kind of made not a quote-unquote gimmick track, I guess you could say, with not standing water a lot of the places we go to. So I think that being that we go to Sonoma is never going to rain because it's on fire right now. But Watkins Glen, I mean, all these places are legitimate road courses where the water is not going to be standing. So I'm all for wets. I need some practice, but I'm good for it. Now, rain tires. Let's do some rain tires. Let's pick some ovals. We can start running some rain tires at Martinsville, maybe Richmond. Places that don't have a whole lot of load. I think that's what Goodyear would only have to see. You can't race rain tires at Bristol or Dover, but it'd be awesome to see. They've tested rain tires at Martinsville, so that would be really cool to see. I doubt we'll ever see it, but I think it'd be cool to see rain tires on an oval.
Corey, all the fans want to know if you have an announcement. It's almost the end of the show. Do you have anything you need to tell us?
Nope. I mean, we're looking at paperwork, so it's going. I should probably sign something this week, in which case I'll announce something next week. But, we want to make sure we announce it and make it cool. And, you got to have all the videos and all the stuff, right?
Really hype it up.
You got to really hype it up. You got to really make it a big deal.
Do you feel like the deal that you're working right now that's it?
That's it.
It feels pretty positive and
I like it.
Confident.
Yep. They're giving me a lot of input on personnel and just car designs and numbers, and it feels good to be included in that side of it. And we're talking to some good people about working over there, and
great.
I mean, we're working as if we're going,
okay.
As if we have something signed, even though we don't have anything signed yet. So,
boy, that gives me anxiety. You can just go ahead and call me Anxiety Lauren.
Why?
I don't know.
We will patiently await your announcement.
The goal, right, is to run a little bit better and to make a little bit more money.
I like it.
And to work with people
mostly just make more money.
Well, that always helps pay the bills, right? But work with, have some job security and be at a place that has a vision for the future to work towards. And I think all those boxes are going to be checked. Stay tuned.
Okay. We're excited.
Yeah,
this feels like a great time to read some reviews.
Some O'Reilly review section.
Oh,
so I got to go do serious here, Daryl.
Okay, let's do some reviews.
Daryl, do you have them?
You have to read your O'Reilly part, though, Corey.
That's after.
You read it after.
Yeah.
Oh,
you weren't here last week.
Lauren, do you want to read one? We have so many good ones.
I see like 3 new ones.
No, there's more. I think there's more. I don't remember what we read last week.
I'll read one from Yang Gang 91.
Okay,
really going to miss this one. I appreciate the fresh views on the sport. Before you go, can Daryl please go to Cookout and tell us how it was? They have a grilled cheese on their secret menu. Oh, I did not know that. Good luck next year, Corey, and I'm so glad you have a car that's easier to look at. Okay, so I'm putting this all together. He's Yang Gang 91, as in Andrew Yang, or presidential, who didn't get very far. And your old sponsor. I will be honest though, I'm a big fan of Andrew Yang as a person. I'm a big fan of $1,000 a week or whatever his plan was. But anyways, it's fine. Moving on.
Andrew Yang, yeah.
Yep. Daryl, do you want to read a review?
Just another NASCAR Sunday. 5 stars. Keep on stacking, Corey. My family started watching and or listening to the podcast after attending the race at Martinsville last year when you ran your Scooby-Doo paint scheme. Mm-hmm. And we absolutely love it. We enjoy the banter between Corey and Daryl and Lauren and their perky personalities. Okay. Our family of 6 tunes in every week. We got to meet Corey at Bristol. He signed our shirt.
Sorry for the curse words, family.
I know.
Sorry for
Corey, we pray you are blessed with better equipment next season. Our hope is that all the hosts, even Daryl Downer and all his saltiness, come back for another season because we absolutely love Sunday Money. That's so nice. Isn't that nice, Corey?
So nice.
Yo, you went way far back in our reviews here.
Because we didn't. Did you guys even do any last week?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Did you read that one last week?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Everybody keep
right.
sending
There's so
some
many
reviews.
good ones.
Even
next year when this podcast doesn't exist, I hope that people will still leave us 5-star reviews.
I think they will.
All right,
we're never going away.
Did you want to read another one, Lauren? Did you read Quitters? I think we read Quitters already, right?
Yeah, read the first one. Amazing. Okay.
Direct TV series, YT?
Yep, that's it. Read that one.
I love this podcast. I listen to each new episode at least 3 times while doing NASCAR stop motions that I post on my YouTube channel. See the plug. Okay, Direct TV Cup Series YT. Okay. Please, Corey, if you read this during the O'Reilly Auto Parts review section, listen to my words. Come back with another season in 2021, even if it's just you. But if you can, maybe get Eric Estep as a co-host. Just thinking out loud, but you have a great rest of the year, the 3 of you and Corey. What? Who's the?
Sorry.
Who's the 2 of us and Corey? Mm-hmm. But I expect at least 5 wins out of you in the Xfinity Series driving the 98 for SHR and 1 win in Cup in the 4 when Harvick suddenly announces he's only doing part-time in 2021. I hope.
Wow.
That's a hot take on the free agency market.
Yep.
None of which are correct. But thank you for that review.
I like it.
All right, well, there you go. People are still loving us.
Well, I love how people are just embracing possibly getting a read in the O'Reilly review section. Mm-hmm. You know, so when you're thinking review, you better be thinking of O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and known for their guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices, better reviews every day.
4 to go, guys. Corey will be on Sirius XM.
Anything
you guys
else?
Won't know that.
Anything else? I thought I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh yeah, going to Kansas this week.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give a shout out to Keen Parts, CorvetteParts.net.
I love it.
Miss TJ, Miss TJ Keen, who's been a part of Go Fast for a while. Her favorite thing in the world to do is come to the racetrack, and unfortunately, she's not allowed to come to the track.
Shame.
So she's sad. We're sad that she's not be able to be with us at the racetrack. Oh no, we're not Corvette Parts. We're Plan B sales. I'm sorry. This weekend.
Jesus.
Next weekend.
Alexa, cut that out.
No. This weekend's Plan B sales. They're giving away a Mustang, 1967 Mustang, so you can go on planbsales.com and check it out for your chance to win. Car looks great. Next weekend is a Halloween scheme. I don't know if you saw that. Corvette Parts. They really embrace Martinsville. Unfortunately, Tom and TJ both won't be able to go with the restrictions of COVID and all that bad stuff. But excited to finish the year out strong. We got 4 more. What we got? Kansas, Martinsville, Texas, Phoenix? Or it goes like Kansas, Texas, Martinsville, Phoenix.
Kansas, Texas, Martinsville, Phoenix.
Yeah, that's right. Close the year out strong. We need to do some championship picks here in the next couple weeks, Daryl.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Also, so good luck this weekend, man.
Hey, thanks. I like Kansas. Kansas is fun.
All right, well, go do your other job. We'll see you soon.
And one more thing, Daryl.
Oh, okay.
We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about your fan mail that was sent. Was it sent to here, to MRN, the studio?
Yeah. No, none of us have gotten fan mail.
We have not gotten fan mail, but Daryl got a card. Let us remain friends.
It's great.
Get it? Let us remain friends. Let us remain. Okay.
It's from Gail.
Thanks, Gail. That's so nice.
We know Gail.
Yeah, Gail's a avid listener. She tweets at us, at you, very often. She sent you a nice card and some other trinkets.
I'm not there. What does the card say?
Hey, Daryl. Just want you to know your thought of from time to time. Sorry.
Okay.
You're a creative, smart guy, and good things happen to good people. And don't waste any energy on disappointments. Not sure how 2021 will look, but working hard on my own happiness, stability. No doubt this has been easy for anyone. No doubt this hasn't been easy for anyone. Sorry, I can't read your handwriting very well, Gail. But you do have nice handwriting. Stay kind, Gail.
Thank you so much, Gail. I appreciate the support and the positivity.
Unfortunately, Daryl will never come in studio to get these gifts that you sent him. I've never seen this. Everybody listen up. This is the signal. I don't know if you can zoom in or not. This is the original distancing signal. This is a pin. This signal was designed to be your navigational aid to politely signal to others that you are not ready for close contact. Wear it to send your own quiet message to others so you can navigate safely and comfortably. Daryl?
I like that.
You going to wear this pin?
Yeah, I don't want nobody near me.
I got to get you this pin because I don't know if you can go outside without it.
Maybe you could put a bucket down over your balcony on a string, and Corey could drop it in it, and then you could just fully system the thing back up.
I'll
so you guys don't have to touch each other.
I'll a contactless exchange.
Right.
Are we gonna have an end of the year party, guys? Are we gonna have a little celebration?
I don't know, Daryl. Would you be near anyone?
Yeah, I want to go to one of those fancy restaurants that Corey takes Kelly to, and I want to wear a cool hat too.
Okay.
Let's do that. As long as you're
Corey's buying.
No, you're buying. And then there's a piece of leather that she sent that says, "I'll send a pic of what this is." I don't know what that means.
Well, thank you so much, Gail. I appreciate the fan mail, and Corey will keep it safe for me. And listen, hopefully you guys enjoyed Sunday Money. We have to get Corey out of here, though. He's got to go to his other job. He's a busy man.
So busy.
I'm sorry to disappoint the fans that were looking for an announcement. Hopefully next week will be the breaking news.
I'm surprised nobody has started
leaked it.
No, not even leaked it because nothing's done yet, or put the pieces together to figure out where I'm going.
No.
It'll
be no idea. You're too secretive.
I am too secretive.
I keep thinking about tweeting it out, Lauren. I'm going to say, if this tweet gets 300 retweets, I will tell you where Corey's going.
Okay, that sounds good.
No.
Why not?
No.
If I get
Daryl
400 Twitter followers, I will tell you guys what car he's going to be in.
Because then that just raises too much excitement to me not be able to let them know.
I really think we should have Adam Stern come on as a Skype guest and let him announce it because he's going to break it before you get a chance to anyway.
No, it doesn't seem like he breaks team stuff early. I think he just does track stuff or schedule stuff.
Okay.
Seems
okay.
like.
Okay.
I'm down to have Adam Stern on the show.
All right.
He's going to be our third host next year.
But we'd be remiss if we didn't let Jeff Pluck on the show. He's an avid listener. Bob Pockers.
I can't believe
Maybe we do a Christmas special where we have everybody Skype in, Lauren.
Okay.
We have a bunch of guests.
I don't have to get
I'm not sure if they could contractually do that. Could they do that? All those media people in one thing at one time? I don't know.
They're
how
all
it works.
pals.
They're all pals. And they all miss each other.
I'm
probably.
hungry.
Probably all miss each other.
All right. Be good, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.